I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
Imagine waiting 73 years to become king, only to lose your crown just a few years after it finally rests on your head. That's what happened to King Charles III. After a lifetime of waiting, his reign ended in a single morning when Prince William was suddenly sworn in as the new king. But it wasn't William's coronation that shocked the world. It was Camilla. Live on television, cameras caught her face turning pale and heartbroken, as if the title she had spent decades fighting for was slipping away. So why was William suddenly given the crown? And what circumstances forced Charles to step down? Let's find out. The sudden crisis. The morning of October 15, 2024, began like any other at Buckingham Palace. King Charles sat at his desk, calmly signing documents. In another wing, the Queen was preparing for a cheerful lunch, unaware of how drastically her day was about to change. Miles away, Prince William was focused on an environmental summit. While everyone enjoyed a peaceful morning, events were already unfolding that would soon reshape the monarchy. At 9 a.m., King Charles's private secretary, Sir Clive Alderton, walked into the King's study with the Attorney General, the Lord Chancellor, and two senior members of Parliament. Their faces were grave, showing that the matter was urgent. "Your Majesty," Sir Clive said, "we have received reliable information about a serious security threat to the Crown. We must take immediate constitutional action." The Attorney General placed a folder in front of the King. Inside were reports of financial irregularities in royal trusts, questionable communications with foreign leaders, and other evidence suggesting something suspicious was happening behind the scenes. The Lord Chancellor explained further, "The Prime Minister has been informed. Security services recommend that responsibility be transferred immediately to the next in line." Charles was stunned. After a pause, he said, "You are suggesting I abdicate?" "Temporarily," Sir Clive replied. "But if you remain, the institution itself could face irreparable damage." For 3 tense hours, advisors weighed every option and consequence if Charles refused to step down. But the King's only chance to protect himself and the crown was to give up the throne. Charles's impossible choice. After the officials left, Charles sat alone in his study, staring at the papers that could end his reign after just 2 years and 3 months. The irony cut deep. He had waited 73 years to wear the crown, and now he was about to lose it. Intelligence reports warned that foreign agencies had gathered years of damaging material. If released, it could destroy public trust in the monarchy. At 11:45, Charles decided to tell Camilla. He found her preparing notes for her lunch. She looked up with a smile, but it faded the moment she saw his face. "Darling, what's wrong?" she asked. Charles sank into a chair, suddenly looking every bit of his 76 years. "Camilla, something has happened. Something that will change everything for us." "It isn't about what I want," Charles said, his voice heavy. "If I stay, this crisis could destroy the monarchy. But William can start fresh." Camilla shot to her feet, pacing by the window. "And what about us? What about me? I've spent 17 years carving out my place, earning respect." Charles tried to calm her, but she pressed on. For Camilla, becoming Queen Consort had been her vindication. She had finally won acceptance after decades in Diana's shadow. But now, it was all slipping away. "William will need us," Charles said softly. "This won't be easy for him." But nothing he said could ease the pain in her eyes. The role she had fought for, waited for, and finally claimed was dissolving right in front of her eyes. William's emergency summons. While Charles and Camilla debated about the decision they needed to make, miles away, William was in a heated meeting with scientists over carbon emissions. His private secretary appeared at the door, signaling urgent royal business. William excused himself from the meeting and stepped into the corridor. "Sir, you must return to Buckingham Palace immediately," James Harrison said. "It's a matter of constitutional urgency." During the 20-minute drive back to the palace, William's thoughts raced. Had there been an attack? Was his family in danger? Was his father seriously ill? Whatever the reason, none of his fears could have prepared him for the truth. Catherine had already arrived, and the couple met in the corridor. "Do you know what this is about?" she asked. "Nothing good," William replied. They entered the king's study to find Charles looking pale and weary. "William, Catherine," he began heavily, "what I am about to say will change everything for our family." Charles explained the immediate security crisis and the need for an abdication without delay. William sat stunned. "You're asking me to become king today," he said finally. "I'm asking you to save the monarchy," Charles replied. "Only you can." At that moment, Catherine gripped William's arm, trembling. At 41, she had long prepared for a future queenship, but not like this, not while raising 3 young children. There was utter silence in the room. The choice was cruel for Charles, to step down and sacrifice his crown. But for William, the choice was just as heavy. He had to accept the crown even though he was still trying to recover from the shock of this sudden news. The hasty coronation. From that moment, everything moved at lightning speed. A constitutional lawyer quickly explained everything to William. Normally, these royal successions took months to complete, but this time it had to happen within hours. So everything needed to move fast. There would be no lavish ceremony. Only the essential duties would be carried out: the oath, the recognition, and the investiture of authority. "The full ceremony can come later," the Lord Chancellor explained. "Today requires only legitimacy and speed." Palace staff rushed to prepare the throne room. Television networks were quietly alerted to expect a major royal announcement, though almost no one knew what it meant. William, usually so careful with decisions, was suddenly thrown into the full weight of kingship. Catherine faced her own whirlwind. Her secretary cleared her calendar, while ladies-in-waiting searched for attire fit for a coronation. She was about to become queen within hours, and she needed something special to wear. While preparations continued, Camilla sat alone in her quarters. Her short reign was ending before many people even realized it had begun. The weight of it cut deeply, leaving her feeling more isolated than ever. The Queen Consort's heartbreak. Camilla sat in her private room, surrounded by constant reminders of the role she was about to lose. Everything she had built was about to vanish. Her longtime lady-in-waiting, Dame Philippa Morrison, found her staring out the window with a sad, broken look on her face. "Your Majesty," Philippa said gently, "the ceremony begins in 2 hours. Shall I help you prepare?" Tears filled Camilla's eyes. "Prepare for what? To watch my stepson take the throne my husband is being forced to abandon?" Philippa tried to calm her by saying, "You'll support the family as you always have." Camilla let out a bitter laugh. "The family? For 20 years, I proved I belonged. And now I'm being pushed out by the same establishment that once defended me." But even through the pain, she gathered her courage and told Philippa to bring out the dress. "They won't see me fall apart in public," she said. The aftermath. As TV cameras rolled, the throne room was filled with tension. Charles, dressed in his ceremonial robes, prepared to renounce his crown. Behind him, Camilla sat in a purple dress, looking pale and tense. The Archbishop described the abdication as a selfless act. Then Charles spoke. "I solemnly abdicate and renounce the throne." As soon as the words left his mouth, Camilla's face went white. Millions of viewers saw her anguish play out live on TV. Charles signed the documents, each stroke of his pen pulling Camilla further from power. William then stepped forward to take his oath. In a steady voice, he declared, "I solemnly promise so to do." A single tear slipped down Camilla's cheek before she could wipe it away. At that moment, William became King William V. Camilla became the wife of a former monarch. The transformation was complete. She sat frozen, shielded by her attendants. Overnight, her engagements, patronages, and influence were gone. On social media, sympathy poured in under the hashtag heartbreak. But history had already shifted as Catherine was now the new queen. The sudden coronation of King William V will be remembered as one of the most dramatic moments in royal history. Yet it was not William's oath, but Camilla's white-faced shock that stole the spotlight. In a single day, everything she had hard-fought for was gone. It was a moment that revealed just how fragile power can be. how quickly fortunes can change, and how even decades of preparation can vanish in an instant. What would you do if your life's work vanished in 60 seconds? Tell us in the comments below. And if you liked the video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, consider turning on the bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos like this. Until then, see ya!